Did you know that Europe once practiced cannibalism? Not in secret caves or hidden tribes, but in royal palaces, hospitals, and churches? While Europeans pointed their fingers at Africans and indigenous peoples, calling them savages for supposed acts of cannibalism, they themselves were grinding human skulls, drinking fresh blood, and rubbing human fat on their skin, all in the name of medicine. Welcome to Black History Stories 13, where we reveal the truths they left out of history books. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another hidden chapter. From the 1500s to the 1800s, across Europe, doctors, kings, and ordinary citizens consumed the human body. It was called medical cannibalism. Apothecaries sold ground-up human skulls, dried blood, and even mummy flesh imported from Egypt. European scientists believed that the life force, the vital spirit, of a human could heal sickness when taken into another body. Blood was believed to cure epilepsy and give strength. Powdered skulls were used for headaches and bleeding. Human fat, often taken from the bodies of executed criminals, was melted down and used as an ointment for pain. And mumia, the flesh of mummified bodies, became a luxury medicine for Europe's elite. This wasn't a fringe practice, it was mainstream science. Royal involvement. Kings, queens, and nobles. King Charles II of England created a potion known as the King's Drops. It was made from powdered human skull, mixed with alcohol, and he drank it regularly to maintain his health. Francis I of France also used mumia, believing it could preserve his strength and extend life. Across Germany, Italy, and Scandinavia, royals and physicians alike took part. Executioners would sell the fresh blood of the condemned to noble families and medical students, who drank it on the spot, believing it was filled with life energy. So while Africa was being painted as the land of barbarism, Europe's own ruling class practiced a ritual far darker and called it medicine. The Great Hypocrisy. European colonizers accused Africans of cannibalism to justify slavery and conquest. They used the word cannibal as a weapon to dehumanize, to paint Africa as uncivilized, and to erase its knowledge, its kingdoms, and its humanity. But in truth, Europe was the real cannibal, one that wore a crown, carried a Bible, and claimed to bring civilization. They called Africans primitive, while European doctors wrote medical recipes calling for skull, fat, and blood. They claimed Africans needed salvation, while their own kings drank from the dead. When we look at history with clear eyes, we see the pattern. Those who called others savage were often hiding their own savagery behind science, faith, and royal tradition. Europe's secret wasn't just medical cannibalism. It was hypocrisy on a global scale. What most people don't realize is that Europe's practice of medical cannibalism lasted for hundreds of years, from the 1500s to the 1800s, and it reached the highest levels of society. Kings, queens, popes, and physicians all took part. Let me walk you through the deeper, hidden layers of it. 1. Europe's obsession with body medicine. During the Renaissance, Europeans believed that the human body contained a life force, and that consuming parts of it could heal sickness or restore youth. Blood was thought to treat epilepsy and rejuvenate the body. Ground-up skulls were used for headaches. Human fat was used in ointments to cure wounds, swelling, and joint pain. This wasn't fringe medicine. It was mainstream science for its time. Apothecaries, early pharmacists, sold jars labeled mumia, which was literally powdered human remains taken from Egyptian mummies or freshly executed bodies. 2. Royal participation. European royalty weren't just aware of this, they were active participants. King Charles II of England was known to drink the King's Drops, a tonic made with powdered human skull mixed into alcohol. Queen Elizabeth I is documented to have paid high sums for a special mummy potion. Francis I of France kept a personal supply of powdered mummy for his own use. Even Pope Innocent VIII is said to have received the blood of 3 young boys as a desperate remedy near his deathbed, though they died in the process. So while Europe accused Africa of being barbaric, their own elites were consuming human bodies in the name of medicine. Doctors and scientists from Germany, Italy, and Britain published books describing how to prepare human fat, blood, and bones for medicine. Public executions became sources of fresh material. People would rush to collect the blood of the executed to drink it warm, believing it held life energy. This gruesome trade in human parts spread through medical markets in London, Paris, and Amsterdam. By the 18th and 19th centuries, as modern science and anatomy advanced, this practice began to fade. Not because they found it immoral, but because new chemical medicines replaced it. 4. The hypocrisy toward Africa. While Europe was drinking blood and using human remains, it was also accusing Africans of cannibalism, using that stereotype to justify slavery and colonization. Missionaries and explorers wrote reports calling African spiritual rituals savage, ignoring that European nobles were secretly doing far worse behind palace walls. This double standard painted Africa as uncivilized, while Europe hid its own dark appetites beneath fine clothes and royal crests. 5. The legacy. The story of medical cannibalism exposes how power rewrites morality. When Africans resisted colonial rule, they were called barbaric. But when European scientists and kings consumed human remains, it was called medicine and science. It's a haunting reminder that civilization has never meant innocence. If this story opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Let more people know the truth behind Europe's hidden history. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss the next episode from Black History Stories 13, where we keep the real history alive. Because when you know the truth, you can't be lied to again.